Select to answer.
Hello.
I love you.
I love you too. We're talking on the phone and the call is going into the talker, so the phone and the talker, Rick's phone and his talker are linked together. So he hears me through the talker.
I love you, bye.
Bye. See you.
For the arc of Larimer County's 6th annual film festival, we had the chance to sit down and talk to Rick and Lisa. Lisa was born blind, and her husband Rick was born with cerebral palsy. Cute couple, right?
Let me say at the outset that I'm not a genius. I just did what I needed to let people know there was a real person inside this body. I have cerebral palsy. CP happens due to a lack of oxygen to the brain shortly before, during or shortly after birth. How involved a person is depends on how long they were without oxygen. One person might be curled up in a ball. Another might only walk with a limp. While you could be, having CP doesn't automatically makes you mentally challenged. When I was 7, I started getting up at 7 to watch Captain Kangaroo. Everybody thought I liked the cartoons. It is very frustrating understanding everything that is said around you but not being able to talk back. It is like being in jail within your own body. One day my aunt was at our house and right in front of me said, "Come on Hazel, put him away. He will never amount to anything." When I was 14 we were living in a mobile home park and the manager took a liking to me, and one day I was at his house and he was reading a newspaper and on the opposite page was an advertisement for a typewriter. A typewriter is what we had before computers and cell phones. Anyway, I leaned over and spelled out, "Hi Larry." He had me do it 10 times to make sure it wasn't a fluke. And then he made a letterboard out of cardboard and we went and showed my mom. Mom and sister and I talked for 36 hours straight. And no, I'm not going to repeat what I said I thought about my aunt. See, I wasn't watching Captain Kangaroo for the cartoons, I was learning my letters and numbers. A month later I started the 7th grade at Bluffton Junior High School. I was put in a special education class, but over time I was mainstreamed into regular classes like science. Junior high kids can be downright cruel. About a week after I started I was having lunch and this boy went through the line and got a bowl of hot chili and walked up behind me and put the bowl upside down on my head. When asked why he did it, he said it made him sick to watch me. There was no talking to him. No calling his parents. Instead I had to eat in the kitchen with the cooks. Which was okay because I got all of the extra dinner rolls I wanted. However, did I then or do I now think, or did I think then I was the one who had the problem? To today, unless it is absolutely necessary, I don't eat in public. Anyway, I graduated in 1976. Strangely enough, my aunt didn't come to my graduation. I took computer science at CSU in 1973. I took a summer job cleaning parks. In 2001 they moved me inside to do computer work. I got my first speech output device when I was 35. In closing, I know it is awkward, but I can't stress how important wait time is. And I know some clients can be frustrating, but don't give up. You never know who you will be there, Larry.
How did you guys meet each other?
In June 2004, Dial-A-Ride started picking up this woman in LaPorte. They picked me before and dropped me off after her. Now I didn't mind taking her home because I had all time. But truth be told, I hated picking her up because I was always half-hour late for work. Well, that woman became the love of my life. She knew we were supposed to be together 3 months before I did. On Christmas night 2004, I Lisa to be my wife. To my shock, she said yes. On Valentine's Day 2005, we were married for the first time. I did that on purpose so I wouldn't forget our anniversary. A hint to you guys, if there are any this year, you do not want to forget your anniversary or your wife's birthday.
And so you and Rick work together like every day, or?
Yeah, we both work out at the same shop together, and we see each other, hang out on break, and chat it up a little bit. I mean, he does a lot of data entry for us. So we fill out the paperwork and he gets to do all the fun stuff, entering it into the computer. And I mean, I don't know how many parks we have in our system, but Rick does it for every single park within the system, as well as facilities and our downtown system, trails. I mean, it's more than just parks that we maintain, and a lot of it falls on his shoulders when it comes to the record keepings.
I make them look good.
That's awesome.
He does. He holds our hands, and when we're not getting our numbers and stuff turned in, he's sending emails out. Hey, don't forget, you got to get this turned in. So.
You guys take care of each other a lot, and you kind of have a relationship where you guys are there for each other.
Yes. People shouldn't just assume that you need eyes for everything. Yes, you need eyes to drive, things like that. But, you know, I can feed him. I fed him while he was in the hospital. There were people that said I couldn't feed him or take care of him or even comb his hair. I fed him the 3 days when he was in the hospital for shoulder surgery.
You do use Braille?
Yeah,
Tell me about that. Like, when did you start learning to use that?
when I was 5.
Wow.
It's really important that you start young so you can develop the sensitivity in your hands.
The same is true with a communication device. The younger they start, the better. Do you mind when people says come look at something?
Oh.
No. In fact, I prefer it. It kind of, it's something that everybody says to everyone, take a look at this, check it out, take a look. What irritates me is like if I say, well, I didn't see this anywhere, and they'll say, you mean you didn't feel it? It's like, no, that is not what I meant. I meant just what I said. I see with my hands. I can get pretty feisty when I have to. But you haven't seen the other Lisa.
That's good. I could learn from that. Like, stand up for yourself and let people know. Like, that's great. I love that you use your voice to help people learn.
Well, the main thing is, talk to me directly as opposed to how does she want her groceries bagged, or what does she want to order? Talk to me like I'm talking to you. What do you want to order? How do you want your groceries bagged?
And don't be afraid to talk to a disabled person. A person can work around any disability.
If there was like one thing that you could change about, the way the world works so that it was more just better for you and Rick, what kind of changes would you like to see?
More respect, more patience, and more people talking to us like they would anyone else.
Think of what a person can do first instead of what they can't do. I hope we did some good.
I think we did. I think we did.
Yeah.